Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today, we're continuing my 2022 year-end top 10s as we are going to look at my number 5 featherweight in the world right now at 126 pounds. Former junior featherweight champion, Brandon Figueroa. Figueroa was not ranked in the featherweight top 10 entering the year because he wasn't considered a featherweight yet. He hadn't officially scheduled his first fight, even though he was coming off of his first loss in November of 2021 to Stephen Fulton Jr. He hadn't come out and said for sure if he was going to be fighting or not. So with all that being said, Figueroa, waited around. We knew he was probably going to be moving up. And he officially announced his fight for the undercard of Vargas and Magsayo on Showtime when he took on Carlos Castro, who was also coming off of his first loss, a split decision 10-rounder against Luis Neri earlier in the year. The thing was, Figueroa came in the favorite for sure, no question about it. But people didn't know what they were going to see. Like, a lot of people, myself included, thought it was going to be a banger because Carlos Castro, his best victories have been at 126 pounds, not 122. He lost to Luis Neri, his only prior defeat, by, at 122 pounds. So everybody thought this fight would be a banger right here, and Brandon Figueroa just dominated. He overwhelmed Carlos Castro, dominated him, and really looked like 126 is the way better weight for him as he stopped him in the 6th round of that fight and put himself as the #1 contender in the WBC right now. So he did not fight the remainder of the year, as they were trying to figure out the mix. So at the WBC's national convention, they voted for and ordered Figueroa to fight Stephen Fulton Jr. in a rematch, but this would be at 126 for the WBC interim featherweight title, with the winner to get a direct shot at the champion, which is currently Rey Vargas. So that fight has not been officially announced yet, but there's been nothing that has said that fight's not going to happen. I believe wholeheartedly, I think it's about 80-90% that we're going to see them rematch. So Figueroa is really going to have a lot working for him because it could end up being for the vacant WBC title. Rey Vargas is moving to 130 in his next fight on February 10th, I believe, and he is going to defend the WBC title. I mean, he's going to be challenging for the 130-pound super featherweight title for the WBC against O'Shaquie Foster. Now, I personally think Foster's going to win, but Vargas is the A-side rolling in, so I wouldn't be surprised if Vargas pulls it off. Now, if Vargas becomes champ at 130, likely he's going to probably stay at 130 for a while. So if that's the case, then I think the WBC title at 126 becomes vacant, and the winner of Fulton and Figueroa becomes the next champion. I think Figueroa is better suited at 126. I think he's more likely to overwhelm Stephen Fulton. But I still think it's going to be a banger and a good fight. And I think Figueroa is going to pull off a close win in the rematch and retain the title. And, and become the interim champ. Now, I think Vargas is going to lose at 130, and then he would come down and fight Figueroa, who I think is going to beat Fulton. They'll fight in the second half of the year, and I just don't think Vargas can hold off Brandon Figueroa. So I think by the end of the year, Brandon Figueroa is going to break some more hearts, and he is going to be your next WBC champion. That's what I'm predicting. I don't know if it's for sure. He could lose to Stephen Fulton in a rematch again and just be climbing back into the picture. But I'm picking him to beat Fulton in a rematch because I think the weight difference will be significant. It will matter. And then I think he's gonna beat Rey Vargas in the second half of the year. And if he doesn't end up fighting Vargas, I think there's a good chance that we see Figueroa and Magsayo in the second half of the year, because Figueroa becomes champion. So he's definitely getting a title shot. He's definitely going to throw himself into the mix. And for me, I think Figueroa could be sitting at the top of the division. He could be the #1 guy in the division, #2 right in that top 2 or 3. But if it goes the way I think, if he beats Fulton and then he beats Vargas, which that's what I'm predicting, I think Brandon Figueroa is the #1 fighter at 126 by the end of the year. So we'll see what happens, and we'll go from there. But that's what I got. That's my #5 featherweight in the world right now as my 2022 year-end top 10s continue. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any and all support. This is True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.